This is going to be an interesting one because right now, 2K26 is about 30 days away from the 1 week early access. So we're going to be seeing the game very soon. We're getting gameplay this week, which by the way, guys, I do think we're going to get it tomorrow on Tuesday because Battlefield's actual multiplayer reveal, all that type of stuff is on Thursday. And I don't think 2K is going to want to compete with that. So I think we do see gameplay powered by ProPlay, blah, 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 next week. Now here's where it's actually going to be the interesting part, okay guys? I got to talk to you in this intro. The 2K community right now is in the honeymoon phase already. We have so much more to figure out about the game, and yet everybody's already very positive. So I got to be the guy, just like last year, that steps in and says, hold on, wait a second. Check this out. Let me just run this by you. Let's lower the expectations maybe a little bit for what's going on due to this news. Last year, the big one was we wanted to focus on cheating in 2K25. 2K later in the year banned a lot of cheaters, so hopefully they do that very early next year. We've talked about how 2K needs to set the tone and do that quickly. However, that is not what this video is about, okay? If you want to go watch someone that's always going to be 100% positive, and there's reasons for that, then go watch them. There's reasons why you will see people that are just like that. I can't do it. I got to be non-biased, no matter what, give you the information and my opinion on it at the end of the day. That's what matters to me, okay? So, Uncle Demi made a video where he was talking about what is on the road map. Okay, if you guys didn't see, there is a spot right here where you see the Dawkins glass, and then right next to it there is an arcade type of machine, so maybe hinting that there's going to be some sort of arcadey breaking the glass sort of mechanic, but we don't know if it's going to be like in the entire game. Obviously not going to be in play now or something like that, but in park mode. Is it going to be in rec, pro-am? Probably just something like park where you can break the glass if there is. But let's just go into Uncle Demi's clip of him breaking this down and, of course, giving us some kind of inside information, and we'll be back.
If you look at Daryl Dawkins, he was like a physical specimen. You know, he was right in line to like the way Giannis looks. Very, very athletic freak of nature and would just dunk on anybody, okay? So, now that you have the backdrop of that, when you see Dawkins glass, you automatically, now I know that that has to mean that backboards are being broken. I mentioned that not in one, but in two videos about having backboards being broken, right? And adding more of a arcadey type feel to the park. And there's a big distinction between being in the park and then being in the rec pro-am type setting, because a park's a lot different. I talked about that. And I spoke on how those type of things, and again, I'm gonna give you some other examples I gave, would really change the game and the feel to where people that play in the park, it feels differently than what it is when you play in the rec or the pro-am.
Okay, so from those two clips and what Uncle Demi was talking about before, he's been speaking to 2K. We already know there's going to be some sort of breaking the glass in some area of the game. Most likely just park, in my opinion. But he wants there to be a different feel in park versus pro-am or rec, and that does make a lot of sense. In previous 2Ks, we've had games like in 2K20, for example, where you could do park signature moves and stuff, and you kind of can on some other games as well. But what I'm saying is there has been moves and stuff that you can only do in the park, like park dunks and stuff are sometimes only for the park. You can't do them in rec in some games, etc. There's been moves where they break ankles a lot better, but you can only use them in the park. So in a way, that does make sense. There should be a different feel to park and more things you can do that are a little bit extreme or taboo, I guess you could say, that you wouldn't see ever in a rec game or a pro-am game, something like that. But this is where I start to get worried. Let's just honestly roll the next clip and we'll talk about it.
I spoke on, hey man, you know, let's have slashers be able to break backboards for the game-winning shot, all right? That was in one of the videos I spoke on. I said, we got to get something like that, right? Or to add on, let's have slashers when they get a perfect green contact dunk with certain animations that the rim, you break the rim and everything, it falls off, you know, you get this crazy animation you can finish through. So I gave 2K 2 options. I was like, yo, do it where you can legitly break the backboard and shatter in half for the game-winning dunk, or if certain dunk animations, you time it perfectly with a contact dunk, that the backboard breaks.
Okay, so the next clip explains it even further, but I just want to talk about the main point of the video before we get to it. You guys will see what I'm saying once we get there. All right, I told you guys that the 2K community is in the honeymoon phase right now, and nothing can go wrong. We've already forgot about what is going on with 2K25. Uncle Demi's video, as you see, was "It's finally happening, ... with a guy breaking the glass. And he did seem excited throughout the video, but here is where I'm worried. I gotta be the Debbie Downer, the party pooper. And if you're mad, bro, it's okay. I made a video like this last year, and of course, there was people that were upset because they're so in love with 2K right now, but then when the game comes out, they're gonna be shocked. Like, what? I thought the game was gonna be perfect. I really hope this is not the main selling point for the park mode. That they've changed it into an arcadey, you can dunk on somebody and break the glass without actually fixing gameplay. All right? If this is the sprinkles on the cake, the icing at the, you know what I'm saying? They've already made something nice and they just had extra time to throw stuff in and we're like, hey, you can break a backboard after you dunk on someone for the last point. Cool. But let's think about the chances here on if that was the sprinkles on a like really good gameplay that they got down good and they just had extra time, or this is going to be a main like selling point for the park mode. We still got RNG. You can't pass around someone. Inbound passes have been cooked for years. Rebounds, dunks. We could go on and on about how gameplay could be tuned this year before we say, yeah, I think that you should be able to break someone's ankles and they like roll out of bounds and stuff like that. So if that is true, like 2K26, park, all that type of stuff, cooked. Absolutely fried. If we just focused on having a way to sell to people by doing these very flashy things at the end of the game, it's cooked. Like, I understand, and trust me, I actually, even like I said, I agree that there should be a different feel. If an NBA player goes out to the park, he's going to be doing different stuff in like a 2v2, 3v3 than he does in a rec game or a pro-am game. You know what I'm saying? There is going to be more ridiculous, extreme type of moves that are pulled off. Like if Kyrie went to the park or something, okay? So that actually does make a lot of sense. However, I hope this is after we have a polished gameplay. The chances of that is pretty low. Let's just roll this last clip and you guys will understand what I'm talking about, and then we'll really wrap it up here.
But I said, let's not just stop there. I said, let's also try to, and again, for NBA, for people that are old enough to remember, like with NBA Jam, I said, why not, if you are a sharpshooter, and again, same thing, game-winning three-point shot, why not have like the rim, the net burn up in flames, right? Or as you're hot and you're on fire, just like NBA Jam, a sharpshooter, when he catches the ball and shoots it, it is on fire. The ball's lit up on fire, right? And I said, you can continue to do that for every single person. A playmaker, right, in the park. Instead of having like just an ankle breaker, right, why not have like a literal crazy like animation to where if you do it for the game-winning shot, he like does like the person does a crazy animation. He falls out of bounds and rolls over like something real crazy, and then you hit the game-winning shot, right? Give every single takeover an opportunity. Same thing for somebody with the rebounds, which I was saying, if an individual gets the rebound and he goes up with a dunk for a game-winning shot, like that, of course the backboard would break, whatever, but why not have it to where he catches it, he flings a person off again.
Okay, so now that we've seen all the clips, hopefully you guys can get the point of what I was trying to get across before you leave. And first of all, he kept mentioning NBA Jam. Contrary to popular belief of people that there's like people in the 2K community that just absolutely hate content creators. They think every single one of them have the exact same opinion. Never true at all. I don't want an NBA Jam game, okay? I would just go play NBA Jam. I don't want a super arcadey game. We've talked about how there has to be a balance between realism and arcade. If the game is 10 out of 10 realistic, where the best player in the game is shooting 40% from 3, well, then that would be 10 out of 10 realistic, where just like in real life, the best shooters are just right over 40% from 3. I personally don't think that would be a very fun park mode, okay? But if you have it 1 out of 10, where every single play is a highlight, ankle breaker, dunking on people, and there's nothing you can do about it, there's no skill gap because of it, that's going to mess it up as well. So I just hope, and I really just don't think it's like this, that they sat down and were like, all right, we got our polished gameplay here. There's not many issues. Now let's come up with some extra things that people can do to just kind of sell it to them. Like, okay, guys, you can dunk on someone and break the glass. You can break their ankles and they're going to roll out of bounds. But I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared. So we will see. Okay, let's not write off the game that it's just horrible right there off the bat. Especially if you don't play Park, then you really shouldn't be worried about that. But let's just get this information and take it one day at a time, okay? Let's calm down, where every little bit of news is so amazing because you're already in love and ready to marry 2K26. Relax, and let's just go day by day, okay, guys? If you haven't seen the last video, click right here or tap. It will take you to it. It's a lot of 2K26 news that you need to see because you're buying the game, so you might as well know what's in it before you buy it. Click or tap right here, and I'm out of here. Peace.